Hey guys, today we have Dheeraj Kumar and he's having 3 years and 2 months of experience in Java, Spring Boot, and microservices. And those who want to give same free mock interview, please fill out the form below in the description. So now let's get started. Hey, hello Dheeraj, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, I'm also good. Shall we start?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So Dheeraj, can you please introduce yourself and your recent project in brief?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Dheeraj. I have almost 3 years of experience. I am a software developer. So I have experience in like Java, Spring Boot, microservices, and my latest project is on like working in like doing REST APIs, and the project is based on like um, if you know rewards, right? Coupons, rewards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so it's based on that. So we give rewards and coupons to the customers, and we calculate that cashback commission, yeah, all those things.
Okay.
So I integrated like payment APIs, logistic services like DHL, all those things, Razorpay, and um, like event booking systems.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
So what's the current reward you guys are working on? Is there any reward for Diwali? Coupon
um,
code and all?
yeah, yeah, like there are, yeah.
Okay. And what's a Java version you guys are using in this project?
Yeah, we are using Java version 11.
Java 11. Okay. Is there any difference between Java 8 and Java 11?
There are differences
Yes,
between
go
Java 8
ahead.
and Java 11, but um, I have not used extensively Java 11
Okay, okay.
versions.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
fine.
we use basically like Stream API itself, and
Mm-hmm.
um, the web flux, the reactive programming, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Fine, fine, fine. And what's the Spring Boot version you guys are using?
it is
3
3.1 or something.
point. Uh,
Yeah.
did you recently migrate Spring Boot version to 3 point or it was since very
No, I
long
didn't
time?
migrate Spring. Yeah, it
Okay,
was there.
okay, okay. Got it. So moving ahead, can you please tell me how does Java support multiple inheritance?
Mm, So, so let's say we have a class child. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have a class parent. So we can say now class child extends parent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we can't say class child extends parent one and parent two. That we can't do, right? But we can do implementation. So that is one of the. So let's say we have an interface now. Right? So
Mm-hmm.
if there is an interface, now I
Mm-hmm.
can like I can say it implements interface one, interface
Implement.
two, and
So
in
Java
this
uses
way I can do that.
interfaces uh,
Hmm.
in order to do this, achieve this. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Moving ahead, and what's the diamond problem?
yeah. So diamond problem is basically like uh, let's say we that's a problem. Okay, like the multiple
Uh,
interface inheritance or the problem on it.
mm-hmm.
So we have a variable. Okay, in both of the
Mm-hmm.
parent classes, right? So child class is trying to implement that. Now it will try to get confused. Should I inherit
Mm-hmm.
that or should I inherit this?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's a diamond problem. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. So moving ahead, why cannot we create an object for an abstract class?
Yeah. So the abstract class, okay, it may have abstract methods or it may not have abstract methods.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever a class is abstract, we are telling it the compiler indirectly that this class may not be completed, means that there might be incomplete methods.
Mm-hmm.
So if there are incomplete methods, you cannot get an object of that. That's the reason.
So how abstract method within abstract class differ from normal methods?
So normal methods,
Mm-hmm.
you have the return type, you have
Mm-hmm.
the method name, you
Mm-hmm.
have the parameters, then you
Mm-hmm.
have the body of the method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In abstract method, you write the abstract keyword
Mm-hmm.
indicating the next will be the abstract method, and then you write the return type, you write the method name, you write the parameters. Now instead of giving the body, you write a semicolon there at the end.
Okay, okay. All right. Dheeraj, I would like to share one important thing with you. Actually, we had launched complete interview preparation material, structured step by step by myself, experts, and MNC's interviewers. And the best part is that now no one need to go anywhere else to prepare interviews. There is a 99% chance that the interviewers will ask questions from this material. So basically, it contains a lot of PDFs categorized by experiences, and it contains the interview question and answers for Java, Spring Framework, Wave 1 Git, Spring Boot, Spring Framework, Spring Security, Spring Data, JPA, Kafka, Microservices, Java coding questions, Stream API coding questions, and many more. I provided the link to get this below in the description. And if someone needs this material, plus two real enterprise client projects for reference, plus one-on-one lifetime doubt sessions and referrals to the big MNCs, then they should check the interview preparation kit. I will provide the link for this as well in the description below. So now moving to our interview. Okay, so Dheeraj, do you know about marker interface?
Yeah, I do know about marker interface.
Okay,
So it is just a way to mark, right? It's just way to
okay.
mark, telling it has
Uh-huh.
some behavior. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it is meant for something. Yeah, like at the
Okay,
function
okay.
interface or at the override. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, okay, got it. Got it. So, how does Java distinguish between classes that implements marker interface and those that do not?
Mm, how does Java distinguish between the
Yeah,
classes those
distinguishes. Okay,
implement? Mm, I actually don't have idea. So if you
okay,
have,
okay.
I mean, you can tell
Yeah,
me
it's
that.
fine. So, can you describe why, I mean, how Java's is platform independent and how it is achieved?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
yeah, go
sure.
ahead.
Um, so Java, when we compile it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we get the like source code, okay,
Okay.
like in a dot class format. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the source code is compiled to the dot class format,
Mm-hmm.
and now this dot class, okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is independent of the platform. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so we can give it to any of the JVM. Now JVM is platform dependent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we give it to any of the JVM. We can transfer it to any part of the OS, any part of the system, right? Uh, then the OS, right? Whichever OS it is, Mac OS or like Linux, they have their specific JVM. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now the source code, the source file, I mean that dot class file, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is again processed to the next step and to give the machine level language.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is platform dependent.
Okay.
So that's how it works internally.
Okay. 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 So, do you know what is the superclass of all Java classes?
Object,
Object. Yes.
object.
Can you explain why object is designed as a superclass for all Java classes?
So, according like from the OOPS concept, right?
Mm-hmm.
The main thing is like every class must be an object, right? So it
Mm-hmm.
must, it must be an object.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we are internal. There is the extends object keyword. So yeah, so like there are some methods, right? Like hash code,
Mm-hmm.
equals method,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, toString
Okay.
method. So all these are present in an object. So if any of the classes are not overriding them, it will be overridden the default method from the object
So, have
class.
you used toString method?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What if there is a null value and we are trying to use toString method?
Yeah, definitely we get null pointer exception. Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
on a null value, you try to do any
So, how will
operation, we get
you
null pointer exception.
avoid this null pointer exception?
We can do a null check, right? If it
I'll check.
is equal to null, then don't do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
any of the methods of the
Mm.
instance methods.
Is there any other way
Um, any other way,
that
like for
uses
what you're asking
Java 8
specifically?
features?
You were saying optional class, then.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
like in optional class, we have is present. And,
Uh, okay, okay. Moving ahead. Do you know about covariant return type?
Covariant return type.
Yeah.
No, I'm hearing this word for the first time. So if you can
Oh,
tell me what it is, like maybe I can explain.
yeah. So covariant return type allows a
Like,
method in a subclass to return a type that is a subtype of the type returned by the method in the base class. It overrides. It's little
okay, are you saying like
confusing.
builder pattern like that?
No. It's different.
Mhm. Yeah, okay,
Yeah, anyways, read about this after this interview.
okay,
Okay, so moving ahead, what is string constant pool?
okay. So our objects are stored in the heap memory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So in the heap memory, we have a specific region called as string constant pool,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where the string objects are stored. Now, the string objects in the sense the literal strings I'm talking, like in
Mm-hmm.
double quotes what we read. So those will be stored in the string constant pool. Okay. And
Okay.
whatever you use in the new keyword, like new
Mm-hmm.
string, right?
Mm-hmm.
That new object will be created in the heap memory, not in the string
Okay.
constant pool.
Got it.
Yeah.
How does the string constant pool optimize the memory usage in Java?
So, so how does it optimize memory usages in the language? So let's say I'm creating three strings. Okay, string A is equal to ABC, B is equal to ABC, C is equal to ABC. Now, the first time it will create ABC in the string constant pool. For second time, when I say ABC, it will not create a new memory. Okay, the existing ABC's address reference is stored in the second variable and the third variable. In this way, it reuses the same string,
Mm-hmm.
value, which object which is created.
Correct. What is autoboxing?
So autoboxing, it's a way of like converting, the primitive types of,
Mhm.
let's say, int to its class type, that is integer, yeah,
Mhm.
or float or double.
Okay. Are there any performance issues associated with autoboxing?
Um, so if I'm talking about performance issue, okay, mm, I'm not very sure, but I believe that, right? The primitive types are, of course, it will be much faster, right? And I believe that like integer, right? Whenever it's a class, right? Whenever it's about, because integer is a class, and whenever it is like that, definitely there is like some operations involved there. Okay. But
Mm-hmm.
it is also important because Java, we can using that integer, right? The come to class, box class. We can make it as Java's 100% object-oriented program. That's the benefit of that. But when we use any class, right, there is a small lag, um, which I have noticed.
Mm. Yeah, when actually it can lead to unexpected performance issue, especially when primitive types are repeatedly boxed and unboxed in loops, which potentially can lead to increased garbage collection and memory footprint, something like that. Okay. Now moving ahead, how do you convert an integer to a string and vice versa? So as for a string, we already discussed that is to string, right? And what about reversing this?
Sure. So to convert an integer to string, okay, there are like simple ways to append plus empty string. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We can easily do plus empty string. One more way is to use like um, string dot value of method.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, string dot value. And yeah, then string s is equal to new string of, you can use a new string constructor. But inside that, again, you will have to convert the integer to string only somehow. Either using plus empty string
Mm-hmm.
or string dot value. Okay, this is the way to
Okay.
convert anything to string, not only integer, any of the variable.
Got it.
Now, for the reverse order, if you
Mm-hmm.
want to convert a string to integer, we have to use integer dot parseInt method.
Mm-hmm.
And similarly, we have float dot parse float, double dot parse double.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So what's the difference between hash map and concurrent hash map?
So in hash map, only one null key is allowed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But in concurrent hash map, null keys are not allowed.
Okay.
And In hash map, it is for like single-threaded like programming. Concurrent hash map is for like multi-threaded application programming.
Okay.
Then yeah, like yeah. So for example, like in problem is like in hash map, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have taken the iterator object, right? Now you're
Mm-hmm.
iterating the hash map, and any changes in the hash map will cause an
Mm-hmm.
exception. Okay, concurrent data modification exception. But now you are using concurrent hash map, right? It is safe now. You won't get that exception
Mm. Okay,
when you
okay.
try to
Got it.
access the change the data of the map. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's the difference between iterator and list iterator?
Mm, so I think in iterator, okay, it is like one way only. Okay.
Okay.
But in list iterator, it can go in reverse order. I mean, from uh,
Mm.
like reverse order also.
Can you explain situation where using a list iterator would be more beneficial?
Situation,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe like to check for palindrome or something because I have not used list
Mm.
iterator level.
Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, palindrome
yeah.
can be the case. Okay, so moving ahead. As we know, Java supports multi-threading by default. But do you know whether it is synchronous or asynchronous?
Which one?
Java supports multi-threading, right? Is it synchronous or
Mhm.
asynchronous?
Uh, so see, like
Like
multi-threading.
what is the by default thing?
Uh-huh.
Synchronous multi-threading or asynchronous multi-threading?
So I'm not sure in the question, but what I can say is like, see, when you create a thread, right, and you create three thread objects, right, and you
Mm-hmm.
say just say start, right, T1, T2, T3, start. So it is async, okay. What I believe is async because it doesn't wait for the control, the result to come, right? It just starts a thread there. That's it. So I can say like it is asynchronous, but yeah. I have not read about it, but I have not even like saw this question before. So,
Okay.
but by what I know, I feel like because it doesn't wait for any thread to start, right? It doesn't wait.
Mm.
So,
Okay. By default, Java supports synchronous execution. It means threads are managed in a way that does not guarantee simultaneous execution. Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Okay. So moving ahead, mm, can you explain finalize method in the object class?
Yeah. So, finalized method is called when you want to like do any closing operations,
Mhm.
before the garbage collection.
Correct. Correct. Okay. So moving ahead. Mm, so why is the finalize method considered deprecated? Do you know like this is
Because
deprecated, right?
so I have not used them, right?
Okay.
So I have no much information on that.
Yeah, yeah, it's
But
fine.
I can understand why it is deprecated, right?
Uh,
Because internally, like JVM can handle all the closing operations. So maybe that's the reason. That's what I can
yes,
guess.
yes, kind of. Now we are using close methods instead of this finalize method. It used to create a lot of performance bottlenecks and deadlocks. Okay. Okay. So as you said something about JVM. So do you know about what is meta space in the JVM?
Mm, I remember reading about
Okay.
them
Okay.
long
Okay.
back, but
Yeah, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. So moving ahead, you used stream APIs, right? In your coding, day-to-day coding, right?
mhm.
Which is faster, stream API or normal traditional routes?
Mm, so. I have not checked that, which is
Oh, okay, okay,
faster.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
But I feel
Yeah, can you
like
guess it?
mm, so like I feel like Stream API might be faster. Um,
Yeah, yeah, faster for
mm, yeah.
large operations.
For small
Hmm.
operation, both will be almost very similar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay, okay. So moving ahead, uh, what is exception?
so exception is a class in
Uh-huh.
Java, which is whose parent is throwable.
Hmm.
Okay. And exception, um, yeah, we can like it's caused when there is an error or
Okay, okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, okay. And exception propagation.
Yeah. So we can propagate an exception, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by using throw, so
Mm-hmm.
by using the keyword throw, we throw that exception. And the parent, if it is a, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, checked exception, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or unchecked also, we can say throws keyword in the method
Mm-hmm.
signature. So in this way, the parent will get to know that it is thrown.
Okay, okay. Fine, fine. Nice. So moving ahead, do you know in which scenarios will the finally block not execute?
Hmm. So if JVM crashes, finally will not execute.
In
If the
what case?
JVM crashes,
Yeah, yeah,
if the
crash.
JVM crashes, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is
or
one
power
of the
cut.
way.
So, yeah.
We can do this thing manually. I mean, by our intervention, like we can add system.exist.
Uh,
Okay, yeah, yeah. So moving ahead, in Spring Boot, what is the meaning of annotations in Spring Boot applications? Define annotation. Like, what is annotation? Why do we use this?
so annotation is a way of telling what your div class does.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what it's going to do. And, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice, nice. Mm. Do you know about custom annotations?
Yeah, I know about them, but I have not
Did you get a
taken
chance
time
to
to.
write? No.
No, no, I didn't
Okay,
get a
okay.
chance to write
Yeah,
them.
yeah, it's fine. Uh, what are the advantages of Spring Boot application over the traditional Spring framework?
Okay. In Spring application, like in the Spring Boot application, it's Spring application, right? Normal Spring. So there we have to do a lot of configuration ourselves. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Like adding the tomcat server, all those things. In
Okay.
Spring Boot, internet connection stable? No, no, no. Okay. Okay, I'm audible.
Yes, yes, yes. Try to
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
little louder if possible. Otherwise, it's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So is it clear now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So in Spring Boot, like we have a lot of auto configuration and
Mm.
yeah, it's much easier. It's meant for ready to deploy like that, build and deploy.
Correct, correct. Uh, we are using some default server only. One server we are using that is Tomcat. Can we change this?
Yeah, we can change.
How can we
So
change this?
yeah, so Tomcat dependency, right? It comes
Mm-hmm.
under Spring Boot starter
Mm-hmm.
start. Yeah. So sorry, Spring Boot starter web dependency, right?
Mm-hmm.
What we can say is we can use an exclude keyword and
Mm-hmm.
exclude. Then in the dependency, we have to import like Jetty server.
Correct, correct. Uh, can you tell me few challenges that do you think Spring Boot solves than older Spring Framework version did not?
Uh, like one of the very big like problem was time saving. I mean, it saves a lot of time, but
Yeah,
right, we don't have to manually do all the unnecessary stuff. We can
correct,
just
correct,
focus
correct,
on coding and business logic, same
correct, correct.
repetitive task. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Got it. Hmm. What are the different Spring Bean scopes we have?
Yeah, scope, right? So we
Mm-hmm.
have singleton scope, okay? Then you have prototype. So in singleton, only one object per application
Mm-hmm.
context is. We have session scope. We have
Mm-hmm.
prototype scope. We have request scope,
Mm-hmm.
right? We have application scope.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, did I miss anything? I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah, it's fine.
I'm sorry.
Good, good. Mm.
Custom
Moving
scope.
ahead, can you explain the practical difference between the singleton and prototype?
Okay. Mm, so practical example, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So see, our database repository, right? So, so there it is a singleton. So we
Mm-hmm.
don't have to every time create a new repository ka bean every time. So
Mm-hmm.
singleton is yours. So prototype is like every time we request, it will create a new object, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I can say is maybe um, something like which relates to the user or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Now I'm not able to think, but
Mm,
it
it's
does that.
fine.
When you request, it will give a new object.
Correct, correct. Okay, so moving ahead, how do you secure REST APIs?
Yeah, so to secure REST API, okay, we have one like pre-authorized, okay,
Mm-hmm.
pre-authorized,
Mm-hmm.
where we can define which role has to access that, and the role can be defined in the user object. Yeah. So the class, right? User class, let's
Mm-hmm.
say. There we'll have to write a method where we can define the role, like
Mm-hmm.
which field will be there for the role.
Okay,
So
okay,
yeah.
fine, fine. Moving ahead, mm, have you worked with microservices?
Yeah.
Okay. How many ways do microservices communicate with each other? Like we have how many ways? May I know?
Sure, sure. See, so like one of them is WebSocket. Okay.
Okay.
So from WebSocket, directly
Mm-hmm.
whatever I said here is a duplex communication. So it will directly go at an instant, right? But it is not feasible always. One is REST client, REST template. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
REST template, we are directly calling their API, another service
Mm-hmm.
API, but that is also not recommended. If it is simple project, fine. One more is like we can use gRPC, then then web client. So our project uses web client.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a async way. So yeah. So one more way is like Kafka, right?
Mm-hmm.
Message brokers. So yeah. So in this way we
Okay.
can communicate.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it's fine. Nice, nice. Mm, how does Spring Boot make sure the communication is secure between microservices?
Okay, how does Spring Boot make sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, See, like how does Spring Boot? Like I'm not sure. Um,
Like
mhm,
communication between microservices, like microservices means we are having two, three Spring Boot application, different, right? So
right.
how the Spring Boot basically makes sure the communication between these services are secure? Like what is up? What how Spring Boot helps is like what is the contribution of a Spring Boot application on this?
See, okay, I'll just try to tell what I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in our project, like we use JWT tokens. Okay,
Okay.
from one service when I send a request to another service, we have JWT token attached with the request. So on the other
Mm-hmm.
side, that JWT token is decoded and we check the role of that. And if that role is applicable, we do that. So there is a Spring security okay, there is a dependency. So yeah, that we use.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, okay. So moving ahead. Mm, 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 mm. How do you call functions and procedures in SQL from Spring Boot? Like, have you
How
worked
do
on
you
this
call
thing?
functions and processes?
Yes, yes, yes.
From where? What did you say? I didn't hear.
Like from a Spring Boot application.
Mm, Like which function?
Like, how do you call functions and procedures in SQL? We have a concept of uh,
Oh,
procedure. Have you
okay.
used procedure annotation?
No, no, no.
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's fine then. Moving ahead, what are the different states in REST API?
Different states.
Yes.
Uh,
State meanings get, post, this thing.
oh, that is
Yeah, yeah,
methods.
yeah, yeah.
Methods. Get method, post method, put method, delete method, patch method, and yeah, I guess that's
Okay,
what.
okay. So what would be the status code for successfully deleting an API? Sorry, data, anything. Successfully deleting one.
Successfully deleting. Right? So for success, it is 200, right? For successfully deleting a resource on the server, 204 is content not like request is success, but there is no content for 204. Right? So I'm not sure. Yeah. So what is
Yeah,
that?
it's in 200 series only. Right
Yes.
now, I'm also
200
not
series.
sure. Yeah, check this after this interview. I think there is no accurate answer for this, like accurate status code for this successfully deleting. But yes, there is
Okay.
something in the 200 series itself. Okay. So
Okay.
moving ahead, uh, may I know the some popular annotations you are using in your current project?
So annotations like service repository
Can we interchange
the
service and repository?
we can do that. We
Okay.
can do that because
Mhm.
it's basically a component only.
Mhm.
But at the rate repository, it gives an additional feature of the exceptions. It will
Mhm.
cast them to the data access exception. So that's a
Correct,
benefit
correct,
of.
correct. Uh, yeah, okay. So Dheeraj, I think it's done from my end.